Well, welcome. Um, let's see here. I'm on at a wholly different time. I know that's going to be weird for many people. Used to me coming on right after Roy and Becky, and a new season and a new time. So let's see what happens here. If anybody shows up, we'll have a drink of coffee while I'm waiting. I think the topic of seasonal change was going to be something that I really felt many people might want to chat about. At least some people might want to chat about. Camping therapy. Hi, Doreen. How's it going? I hope you're feeling okay. I changed my time. I don't know if this hot slot is going to work for me or not. Or I wanted to see who else might be going on live at the same time. I didn't know how else to try it out except for doing exactly what I'm doing and going live. And I'm going to look at my YouTube and see what the situation is for live streaming right now. Somebody I don't know, somebody I don't know. And changes during the seasons. I really, really thought that would be something that is appropriate to talk about. And that could be changing of seasons in life or in literal physical sense. You know, how do we feel when this light gets different, when things around us change in that manner? So, got stitches out today. Be referred to hand specialist because I still have pain. I am so sorry. My dad lost 3 fingers in a work accident. He was a Finnish carpenter, and he cut off, I think it was these 3 fingers right here. The pinky, the ring finger, and the middle finger on his right hand. Might have been his left hand, but he was working, and he was so intent on safety. He drilled it into everybody around him because he was always the lead worker, and he drilled it into everybody. And so for him to have had that accident, he really he was the first multiple digit reattachment in Oregon. Well, hello, Kaylee. Thank you for listening on your phone. I'm glad you're here. We're just going to talk about changing of seasons, and a lot of people will be putting campers in winter storage after this month. Yes, there is that change of the season as well. Betty Jean is being used by some people right now. Actually, my nephew and his fiance are using it. They're letting a family use theirs, and they're all together at this ranch, and that's where my nephew and his family are working. And I've been up there several times, and I love it. They have horses and they have cows. So I've been hanging out at the ranch a little bit, trying to get in. I take my walker, and I'm using my walker. It's actually kind of funny to see me out in the pasture with the horses or the cows and petting the horses with my walker right there. It's very interesting, but I love them. I love horses. And this one horse really needs all the attention that she can get. US Backroads Nomad. Well, hello, Backroads. How are you doing? I'm glad you're here. It is fun, Doreen. I'm an animal lover through and through, and I don't. So now we did take the car. We went for a drive up on the ridge. So this used to be a 2,000-acre ranch, and as a matter of fact, our son Brent, who's 31 now, when he was 8, he and his dad went for a trail ride. It was a big ranch. They did trail rides. They did camp outs, cooking over the open fire. Um, I'm getting the content together to do that. And so Brent was about 8 years old when him and his dad went for a long trail ride up there. And I thought was really cool that him and his dad got to do that. And so this is the same ranch, but only it's no longer 1,200 acres. They had to sell some of it, and it's 200 acres. And it's still, when I look at what 200 acres is, it's amazing. It's in the foothill of the Cascade Range, and so there's I saw a ton of deer. I was just sitting there minding my own business by the campfire, and I look up, and about, I would say, the length, shorter than a football field, about 3/4 the length of a football field, there was a whole bunch of deer. And because there are some apple trees up there, so definitely there will be some visualization of animals. There's also cougar in the Coburg Hills. They're called the Coburg Hills. And so trying to come back, season changes. I don't like losing light. Yeah, so I understand that, Kaylee. I understand that losing light can be a real pain, and it very much is very real. And so I want to remove something here. Okay, there it is. And so seasonal changes, of course, many people are aware of the SAD, seasonal affect disorder, and that's real. So oddly enough, when Oregon, here in the Willamette Valley, when we've had a certain amount of sun in the summer going into fall, and it seems like that the sun is never going to go away, and it seems like I'm never going to see a cloud again, I start panicking inside. So does my little sister. So we're both crazy people. And I really, really get sick of the sun, because like blue skies are great. As I've said, I oddly fell in love with quartzsite loving it in its own way. But the heat here is very different than it was in quartzsite. And blue skies are just dull. I mean, unless I'm on the beach, then I'm excited that it's blue skies here in Oregon. But really, I love to see the contrast with clouds and colors. I much more prefer that. She is listening on a phone. Said she is listening on a phone. And, so I do know people who get sad, and I know people who, like me, get that kind of reverse sad when there's too much sun. I just like change. I enjoy the change of seasons. Like I love snow. I adore snow. I would love to live where it snows and there's also beautiful weather as well, and that we're on the beach. Asking too much, but that would be perfect for me. So then there's other change of seasons, change of seasons in life. And I've thought about a lot about that lately as well. Let me get situated here. I've thought about that a lot lately. I've been on a roller coaster ride with it. And yet at the end of the day, which is a saying that is way overused, but it's true. For me, at the end of the day, there are a change of seasons of life. I've had to come to term. Say hi to Kaylee for me, please, since she's listening on a phone. Well, she can still see your hello. She can still see your hello. And so the change of seasons of life are important to acknowledge too. I've had to acknowledge those change of seasons of life simply because I'm a disabled person. I have other abilities. Let's call it that. I know that people use the terminology other capable, and I am. and I'm very other capable. And I try very hard not to allow my mobility disability, my mobility disability to completely hold me back in life. However, there was a good opportunity for me to face that when I was with the horses. On the first day, my nephew was herding them towards me. There's 3 of them. He really wanted me to have the opportunity to pet them because he knows how I feel about horses. I don't move quick. My left leg is my after my knee replacement. It's not the fault of the knee replacement. The knee replacement, the pain is gone, but I injured it severely, a lateral quad injury, and it just has never been right. And so, right after surgery, like within 2 weeks, I had my German Shepherd or German Shepherd dog accidentally, total human fault, just bump up against it, and it I had to go to the hospital by ambulance. The pain was unbearable. It caused my leg to go up behind the thigh, to pull up backwards, and I couldn't straighten it out. And the agony, it was agony. The happy camper, well, hello, thank you for coming by. Talking about seasonal change. And so, as he was herding these horses towards me, I am like on this mound and they're not excited about us. They don't know us yet. They don't know I just want to give them kisses on the face. They don't know I just want to pet them and brush them and do all that good stuff. Um, so my nephew became very concerned I was going to get knocked over. And so I started moving backwards where I could kind of hide behind a post. But it took me a moment, so there's no quick movements of my body any longer. So I do have to keep that in mind. And that is a seasonal change for me. I was a catcher for softball for 6th through 11th grade. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 6 years. And I moved very quick. I was very strong. I was very capable. And that is no longer something I can do. I can't move quickly. So unless I want to put myself in danger, I have to pay attention to those things around me. So my life has shifted and it's in a different season. And I'm excited about it because I was talking to somebody and I really would like people who have other abilities to see someone moving through life still doing what they can do the best they can do, and not giving up. And there's times it would be so much simpler to give up. I mean, I have the day before, so y'all know I turned 60 on the 2nd. I'm now 60 years old and several days. So we're now moving towards 61. And so the day before my 60th birthday, I was laying in bed, fetal position, covers pretty much over my head, sobbing my eyes out because life was ending as I know it. Well, that happened a long time ago. So I don't know why I was crying that day, but thank you. Thank you. I think it's going to go all right. So I will get to Richard here in just a moment, my friend. So I talked to a couple people, and my friend that I've known the longest, his name is Mike. That's all I'm going to say. He knows who he is. I've known him the longest. He said, which my middle name is Kay, and that's what he calls me. He's known me since I was a child. He said, Kay, today's 60 is not the 60s you and I grew up with as children. My mom died at 60. She had very severe COPD, and it took her life. I have never smoked. Thank you, God. Honest to God, I've never had one puff of a cigarette in my life. I just always hated it. I didn't like the smell, and I didn't smoke. And so I think that's the only saving grace I have because I've got other things. And so anyways, yeah, changing of seasons. And I got through that day. And then the day of my birthday was good. I was like, 60 and alive beat 60. I push it. Yes, because I'll tell you, my mom fought hard She fought hard, but unfortunately the damage she did, and she quit smoking 15 years before she died. She quit smoking in her 40s, and it did not stop, the train. So whatever we want to talk about, I want to share something with you I've done. But first, I'm going to address Backroads here on Richard. So Richard is doing okay. He's wearing his brace. He's out of back surgery. Gosh, I wish about a month, maybe. And the pain is better. They went in to fix, that Dr. Miller went in to fix, and he is doing okay, and he's progressing well. He'll see them they're going to do a set of x-rays and a CT scan to make sure all of the hardware is in place and holding. So that will be like the second week of November. We'll know for sure that's all good. But I don't know if you know, but he has an inguinal hernia, and on the right side, I believe. He's had double hernia surgery before, so we don't know how that could be again, but there's an MRI that shows it, and that pain is restricting his movement. It's making him not want to move. He just doesn't, it hurts really, really bad. And so, and I remember how bad he hurt when he had his double hernia, and it's hurting, it's hurting like that. So he went to a general surgeon months ago, and they didn't see it because they didn't have an MRI and they couldn't feel it. Well, the MRI happened after so many months of pain, and they now see it and send him to a different surgeon. So they've put in for surgery to fix that, and we haven't heard anything yet, but it should come pretty quickly. They have 45 days. That was last Monday. Today, after I'm done with this live stream, I will be calling them just to confirm that they've got the request, and potentially, maybe, who knows, maybe it's been decided in his favor. Right now, I think he would get out the same day right now, because right now in Eugene, the hospitals, there's two major hospitals that do surgeries, and they are only doing day surgeries. Anything that can be done day surgery. So I'm waiting for my second back surgery. So I had one in the summer, early summer, and early to midsummer, somewhere in there, July. I think it was in July, was my back. And so, but to finish taking care of the problem, they have to do one more back surgery. But that's going to be a several day stays. And so they cannot do my surgery until the hospitals fully open up. My little sister, she had neck surgery a week ago, and she had a disc in her neck that had splintered into 3 pieces, and they thought it was going to be a day surgery, and that's what they asked for. But as it turned out, she had a lot of bleeding, so she was in there overnight, which, of course, they're not going to kick her out, but they would prefer that you be in there one night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link here. I'm going to invite y'all to come up and share your change of season. One of the things that I love about this season is that we're going into a holiday season. For me, I love it. It was, as a child, the best time of year, and I adore the colors of fall. I'm going to remove myself from the stream for a second and show this picture here, and then I'll put myself right back. I chose that picture. It's a University of Oregon campus. It's a picture I took when I was going there about 10, 11 years ago. And I absolutely love that campus. It's beautiful, but I love the colors of fall. I love the oranges, the browns, and I used to hate those colors. I don't know when I grew up and started liking oranges and browns, but I do. I like oranges and browns now. Neutral tones. I love it. Love going for drives where I get to see the beautiful colors of fall. And I believe we're going to, Thursday, I have to go to Florence, which is the closest coastal town to me, because I have to get my new driver's license. I'm going to get one of the upgraded ones. I can't think of what they're called. for if I ever wanted to fly, which is a no thank you. I'm a non-flyer. No, I did it one time. One time. Yeah, back roads. Fall is my number one season. Spring is my second. If we lived where we got snow, snow would be my second right after fall. Real ID, Happy Camper. Yes, ma'am. The Real ID. So I have to drive 60 miles because this town is about 200,000 people, and our neighboring town is what, 40,000 people, and we have several DMVs. We have DMV within 10 miles of my house in another little town, but the closest one that could get me my driver's license was 60 miles away. So we're driving to the coast on Thursday, and yes, I will do a video. And may even do a live stream on Thursday. It's at 4 o'clock, so it would be, going over earlier in the day. I don't know. So I flew one time. I've not flown since before 9/11 and will never fly again unless it's on a private plane or jet. We were on, so Richard and I, this was pre-Brent. So we're talking probably 32 to 35 years ago. Probably closer to 35 when we first met. No, about 38 years ago. We went to Newport, Oregon, which is my favorite town. I love Newport, Oregon. Number one town. It's on the coast. I could live there in a heartbeat. And so I'm glad I live. What was that? I'm glad I live. Catherine Cook. Oh, don't worry about that, Catherine. This is such a different time change for me. I knew that it was going to be an issue for some people. If you know that there's anyone else live from the kind of the group of people that we hang out in, can you let me know so I can know who else is live at this time? So this is what I was going to look at. I'm so glad I live in nowhere. Our DMV is always dead. Oh, that would be nice here. So Richard convinced, because I don't like heights. I was not meant to be high up because I would not be short if I was meant to be high, tall, right? It's how I figure it. So Richard talked me into going on a plane, just like he talked me into going on a Ferris wheel one time. And then I had to threaten his life to stop rocking the chair. I told him, I will push you right out of here. Again, that was when we first met, and it seemed romantic. It's not romantic if you're throwing up on your date. Please, it's not romantic. So anyways, we go in a two-seat. Well, the pilot had a seat, and then there was a seat for Richard and I to mush into. Okay, again, romantic. Until the pilot takes off, he's out facing the lighthouse on the ocean side, and the beach is down here. We're in front of Yaquina Head Lighthouse, looking at it. It's so wonderful. It is my favorite. I love that beach, called Nye Beach, as a matter of fact. And it feels like and sounds like the engine stopped. The pilot, and he grabs this book, and he puts this book up in front of him, and he's kind of thumbing through it, and he sees this abject terror on my face. And he says, "Don't worry, we're within coasting distance of the beach." I'll never forget those words. That is an exact quote, and that's about 38 years ago. Don't worry, we're in coasting distance of the beach. We made it back okay, but I'll tell you what, I'm like, Richard, either you love somebody who doesn't love heights or you find somebody else, because I ain't never going up in a plane again. All the American, all of the mandate BS is making me more and more reclusive, but I don't like to be general public as it is. You can't fix stupid. Yeah, there's just, oh, you love coasters. Happy Camper. I will not get on Ferris wheel either, but I'll ride a roller coaster that inverts. Yeah, figure. I'll figure. You got two personalities in you? No, we were on the Ferris wheel. It's nighttime. It's lit up. It's just beautiful. Even I can admit it's beautiful. And he drags me up there because, I thought it looked romantic. And he drags me up and I'm screaming I let him drag me. Okay, it's a little game, you play when you're young, you're 21 years old, and things seem to be fun when you know that it's not meant to be. And we get up there and he's like making it rock. And I'm like, stop rocking the Ferris wheel. I will push you out. Basically what I told him. On a coaster, you're strapped in, not in a Ferris wheel seat. You're absolutely right. Well, welcome, Manati Golgol. Thank you so much. I appreciate you liking. And yes, every thumbs up today is going to count. If you feel like sharing it out to your social media, whether it be on YouTube or on Facebook, I would so much appreciate it. And there is the Modern King. You prefer the new live. This is my son. You prefer the new live stream time. Well, I'm going to do a video, I think, this afternoon after we're done with this, letting people know that we have a new time, same place, new time. He is doing very well on TikTok. He has, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure you will, he has several videos that has had 100,000 views. And he has videos. He has almost 15,000 subscribers. And he's been doing it really consistently for about 3 months, I think, something like that, 2 to 3 months. Immediately. I mean, so he has stuff that's good for TikTok. He has some great stuff, and he's very funny. My son is a funny fella. 14.7. Okay, you had to get specific, didn't you? 500,000 views in 1 month. Very good. Very good. I wish I had immediately available to me this one video that is funnier than crud. He has cousins who live at the coast, or don't live at the coast. They're Canadians. They have dual citizenship, and they come down here once or twice a year because they have a house at the coast on a lake, and they come down here because they love it. And so he goes over there and they have a lot of fun. They're all in the same kind of age group, and so they go there and they have fun for a week. And he did a really funny video, very funny. I loved it. I got complaints about my cup being too tattered, so to speak. So as it turned out, my son got me a set of 4 mugs for my birthday that sit in this silver holder, for lack of a better word, 2 on either side, and then my coffee pods go in the middle. I like my Keurig. I really enjoy it. So Modern King, I'm going to drop the link again if you'd like to come up and chat a little bit. It would be fun to have you on. All you have to do is grab the link. So does anybody have some, let's see. I actually pivoted from YouTube to TikTok. Yes, he was doing YouTube. And, he just was not getting the traction. Uh, but it is a good medium for him. He is funny. And I'll come in about 5. Okay. Yeah, he's naturally funny, and I really he makes me laugh. He makes everybody laugh. He did a skit in high school, and it's legendary still. And he is 31, so he's been out of school for a while. So, how about let's talk about how y'all are pivoting to the season. Are you putting up seasonal seasonal stuff on your homes where you live? Um, Maybe I draw in more during this season, although let's see. TikTok is scary preparation. I've heard we're being watched through the medium. Well, we can be watched through any medium, so I have no illusion about that. I think it would be odd if we weren't. And some people maybe more than other people. Proposition, lol. Oh, proposition. Yeah, no, I kind of thought you might have meant that. Um, but there's a lady in her 50s who is hysterical. So she's an average, everyday 55-ish-year-old woman, a cute woman, you know, um, no supermodel, but still very cute. And she has taken things like a sexy supermodel doing something sexy, and she does it in her way, and it is funny stuff. That's odd. Me too. I cook more. So if I thought I were going to be home more, so let me reposition here. So if I thought I was not going to try to be on the road at least half time as soon as these surgeries are done. Okay. I would cook way more. I would learn to can. I used to kind of know how to can. My mother canned everything. She would have canned us kids if she could have got away with it. But I would love to can and do some freezing preparation. So, well, hello, Dan, the vintage RVer. Thank you for stopping in. So glad to see you. It's been a long time. YouTube is now taking 45. Yes, TikTok does not. So TikTok is way more profitable now, and more people watching TikTok. I know there's a lot of people. Wow. So Brent is having a difficult time. That's my son getting monetized. He's met all of the requirements, and it's just not happening. He has not been monetized, and he's applied for it twice. He knows what their requirements are. He's met them. Yeah, I think the last time I saw you was you were heading to Cape Cod or somewhere like that. I said, take a picture for me. That's one of my bucket list places is Cape Cod. So, yeah, he's doing great on TikTok other than getting the monetization approved. Otherwise, he's a natural born actor. He's a natural born comedian. So, we're talking about, first of all, this is my new time slot. And one of those changes, seasonal changes I was talking about is knowing what our limitations are. So my seasonal change kind of moving in my life, so to speak, because of the pain issues that I deal with on a daily basis. Choose not to take opiates other than the very rare level 9 to 10 pain, and then I have to take something. Did make it to Cape Cod. It rained a lot, but the drive home was sunny. Isn't that kind of the way it goes? So I've had to acknowledge, that morning time, even though 11 is not an early morning by any means. It's just for me and dealing with what I deal with later in the day is better. But I know that all the evening slots are pretty well taken by people that I would like to watch, and I'm not interested in battling for viewership. I thought 3 o'clock might work better for some of the people, especially that might be on the East Coast that I like to watch and enjoy, and are friends with. We'll see. It might go to 2 o'clock, but I don't think I would do any earlier than 2 o'clock. So, so seasonal changes, whether it be literal physical season or a seasonal change internally. So one of the things I'm thinking about, well, one of the things I'm thinking about is writing a what not to do book when you drive anywhere. Okay, so what not to do. What not to do. Scott, hello, Scott Jacobson Appreciation. I appreciate you coming, Scott. So one of the things what not to do, don't leave your navigation up to 500 people on the road. Okay? Don't leave your navigation up to anybody else. I did that, and we all know I paid a large price for that in my mental health. If I had had a therapist at the time, they would have gotten wealthy. I think another thing of what not to do, you can live stream whenever you like. I don't know why people think they can't go live just because someone else is. For me, so here's my feeling about that. The reason for me is there's people that I also enjoy watching, and frankly are larger channels than I am, and I'm not going to go into battle with Goliath. Although there's people I watch a couple people at the same time that I'm watching someone else, because I can flip back and forth when I'm on my computer. Just blinks 12. Yeah. My biological clock died. So now I got to tell people, I'll tell the newer people, I'm getting to go spend time at a ranch that's within 15 minutes of me. And most of the drive to the ranch, by the way, it is the gravel road that's almost 2 miles long, winding. It doesn't wind, it just goes like straight and makes a right-hand turn and up to the ranch. I think Richard is listening to me on TV. Yep, he's listening. I can hear. He's watching me on TV. Hello, Richard. And so I get to hang out with 3 horses. One is very old. One is one of the original horses that Richard or Brent may have rode 20 some years ago when he and our son was about 8, went for a trail ride up there. And it's a mess. It's a mess. So my nephew is bringing it back to life. That's what he's hired for. And so he has 2 horses of his own up there. And one that belongs to the ranch. One that belongs to the ranch that was ridden up there. And she's very old, and she's so sweet. And so I'm going to do some videos up there. I want to plan for my family here. I want to plan a cookout up there. It ain't even they're used. So there's 2 couples up there basically, and one of my nephew and his fiance are using my and Richard's RV. Betty Jean, she's being used, and then their RV is being used by my niece-in-law's son. So hello, fairy dust, weep the wild winds. Thank you for coming. And so they are. I wanted my nephew and his wife, for lack of a better word, because they may as well just get married. It's my recommendation. I was thinking I preferred them to stay in it just because, and it's just nice to see her being used. Nice to see her being used. When I drove a semi, I mapped my path on paper before heading out. That way I knew exactly where I was going before I ever stepped on the throttle. So you're a wise person. Okay. I had to learn lessons about that. I take all the blame, but really, Richard was in on this too. We didn't even have an atlas. I did not even have a map. You know, it's so childlike thinking. All I knew is I was going to Southern California and making a left. It's really that simple. And Quartzsite would be right there. Scott, Homer downplaying on the tractor. Oh, we are at his cuz horse ranch. Lucretia, we have 37 horses here. So there's just 3 at my nephew's, but very nice. Isn't it fun to be around them? I just like to pet them. I'd really just like to go down and pet them. And one horse has never been broke. And she is the leader of the pack. She is the dominant horse in the 3 of them. But my nephew she allowed him to braid her mane a little bit. So he's just slowly getting her faith and her trust in him. So just talking about some changes, seasonal changes, maybe seasonal changes in life. We all go through those too. And I think it's more prominently seen in women. Oh yes, playing with tractors and horses. I wish I had he called me yesterday and he said, Auntie, come on down. We have a tractor. Well, it's not a tractor, it was a backhoe. It's actually a small backhoe. It wasn't a big giant one because I've driven a Bobcat before. When my father built the house we're in right now, I was 13 and he 12. I was 12 and he let me drive the backhoe around. You're in the best season, Joy. Oh gosh. Yes, isn't it good season to be in? Joyous. I am happy for you. So I believe I just dropped the link again. Let's see if anybody would like to come up and talk about seasonal changes for them and what it looks like. People going, I know there's some people heading back to Quartzsite. I know that, gosh, I'm trying to think if I just watched a video. Oh, I know that one of my favorite RVers, van lifers to be more specific, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't think of her name. Minnie Van Lee. How could I forget her name? Minnie Van Lee's headed back to Quartzsite. Her and her friend. She's been traveling with a friend. He's in a nice Ram. Like a Sprinter van, but they're Ram. He's traveling in that, and she's got her. She has her van. Seasonal changes equals midlife crisis. Could be true. I hope to God I do not go through a midlife crisis. I did that at 40. You know, I had a midlife crisis at 40 or 30. I think it was at 30. Yeah. Lord's moving me to go to Q maybe in November. I can't go until March-ish. Because Richard will be having his neck surgery fall season. Yes, ma'am. Fall season is my favorite. And as it turns out, it's also, I'm not the only one. So Richard still has to have his neck surgery, and they won't do that probably until December. My bet and my gamble, if I were rolling dice, it would be on December. And probably mine will be sometime in November. So I'll be fine to go I'd be fine to go by February. No, November, December, 3 months recovery. But Richard probably will not be ready to go until March because he has to have a bunch of some neck work done. He had a fusion of his neck many years ago, 15 years ago, less than that, about 10 years ago. Very big fusion. He looks like, I mean, it's right down base of his skull, right down into between his shoulder blades, kind of. Seasonal changes by a motorcycle, a Hellcat, a Hellcat. No mink coats, but a Hellcat. Isn't that? So isn't it kind of like it's similar to a dune buggy, but it's super cool. Not that dune buggies aren't cool, because I almost bought one when I was a kid. I did. I almost bought one as a kid. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add something to the stream here, and I'm going to play it for about 15 or 20 seconds. When you're done, give me your honest opinion, a thumbs up or a thumbs down, because I'm thinking of starting a new channel. Well, I'm thinking of starting 2 new channels, and that I'm going to tell you about as well, since we're talking seasonal changes. So I'm thinking of starting a channel that's devoted solely to videos that I put together for relaxation. That's actually very much a potential money stream. I watched somebody who was explaining that. That is one of the best, just kind of passive things that a person could do. Super simple, super easy, and you can do it with music or without music, and just the sounds of water or wind, moving trees. You know, you kind of, because every night, whether I'm on the road or I'm at home, I go to sleep with the sounds of rain. I have it. My YouTube is all ready to go every night for me to turn on my rain sounds. So I'm going to add this and play it for about 20 seconds so you can kind of get a good feel for it. And tell me what you think. Please be honest. Let's see. Let's go for her. Seriously, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I also have another version that doesn't have the piano music. It just has the rain. Thank you, Naj. And thank you for coming. And you're not late. This is a brand new time slot for me. So I'm going to kind of have to work it out and make sure that it is a good fit. It's a good fit for me. Either people will come or they won't come. And there will be a few people here and we'll have some good conversations. All right. So thumbs up from Naj. Music, a little rain, a little too. Okay. So my friend, who is a professional musician and a perfectionist, and nothing wrong with that, by the way, because he's really good. So that's what he said. And he did not think that there was enough. Thank you. Glad you're back awake. There was not enough. He felt like there was not proper editing between the music and the rain, because it's, anybody who does editing, you know, it's just a bunch of layers. So I've got the layer of the rain, I've got the layer of the movement, I have the layer of the sound, my little icon that I love. I absolutely love my icon. And so Boondocking with Boomer did that for me. Okay. All right. Yeah. So what I've done is I'm going to do, I will take that advice, because I do think there's a reason I personally only listen to rain. I don't listen to rain with the sound of piano or anything else, but I really liked it. But I do hear that it does feel a little too loud. anyways, my friend who's he's professional musician, played in symphony, um, has a degree in it, and he does his own thing. Okay. So my modern king son, give me a thumbs up when you're ready to join, and I will introduce you to him. Hello, modern king. I can't hear you.
No.
Talk again. No, it's cutting in and out. It's like there's a break in your mic.
How about?
I could hear you then for a moment.
It's better?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Well, thanks so much for having me on your show.
Well, thank you for stepping up and coming on. So you want to tell us a little bit? Yes, sir.
Never mind.
You want to tell us a little bit about your TikTok? We're on YouTube, but tell us about TikTok. What do you think has changed because of what you've went from your season of working on trying to work your YouTube channel to moving to TikTok, and you're finding success?
Right. Basically, I was on YouTube back in 2007. It was my first video that I posted.
Uh-huh.
And it was really successful with 30,000 views. And back in 2007, to get 30,000 views is like insane, especially for someone who had 0 subscribers. And now, here we are, 2021, almost 2022, and I've pivoted because my YouTube, I had 3K subscribers, and really it wasn't just I was trying to think of what am I going to do? Like, am I going to stay on YouTube and try and do something more, or am I going to try TikTok? As much as I didn't want to try it, I tried it, and my first video got taken down. And
Yes.
That's when TikTok first started taking off, and it was December 2019, taken down. And anyways, now I'm pivoting, and I went to TikTok, and when I went on vacation at my cousin's house, and when I came home and used the videos from that to make some TikTok, it really, 20,000 views, 35,000 views, I believe 15,000. And then I, as you know, came out as non-binary about 3 and a half weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that video now sits at over 200K views. And I went from 54 followers on TikTok to almost 15,000 in like a month and a half. And so when you look at the time span that it took me to get 3,000 subscribers and 0 endorsement deals on YouTube, I don't even want to count those years. How many years I don't want to say wasted, because it's not a waste, but it's in the past, I would say. And so I still have 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that's why I'm going to do one video a month.
You have did you say you have 3,000? Did you say you have 3,000 subscribers on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you did that in a fairly quick amount of time, though, correct?
Well, the 3,000 is about 8 months in total. And now, a month and a half after TikTok, almost 15,000. I can see myself hitting 20K, 50K by the end.
So, but you haven't been able to get monetized on TikTok yet. You've met the requirements. Do you have any idea why that might be?
I have no idea, but I would love to know.
Have you written them and said, "Hey, I have met your requirements. I have,"
did.
And did anybody come back at you?
Well, here's the thing: is that now my videos in like 30 days have only like gotten 98,000 views in the last 30 days. Because the majority of my views
98,000.
happen. Yeah. And
I
so
would keel over dead if I got 98,000 views on a video. I would. I would. You'd have to do your, your CPR on me, Brent, because Modern King, because I would keel over.
well, it's been a whirlwind, let's say. To go to bed with like 5 views on a video and wake up and I have 40,000 and I have 5,000, followers.
Uh-huh.
And then next day I go up to 12,000 followers. It's insane. Like, it's craziness. And
Yeah.
from what I understand, TikTok is going to be more of a place to grow your brand, because you can do shorter videos, which is why YouTube integrated the YouTube Shorts.
Huh?
That's directly as in response to TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram. So, it's just kind of interesting to see the difference in the time span.
Uh-huh.
8 months for 3K on YouTube and 0 endorsement deals, 0 brand deals. 1 month, a month and a half on TikTok, 15K followers, 500K views, and I have a huge endorsement deal coming up for Halloween, for this huge Halloween rave, and they've asked me to, do some TikTok videos, and
Yeah.
I'm going to get some tickets and get to go and have an amazing time. And so TikTok's already changing my life for the better.
Yeah. So before you leave, do you feel like just doing a very short, just a 30-second bit of Proud Mary for me? Come on, just 30 seconds.
Left a good job in the city, working for a man every night and day. But I never lost one moment of sleeping. That's how you can get it. And I know that's like my version.
Just, you got to do the rest, the fast piece. Just go into the fast part for me.
Big wheel keep on turning. Proud Mary keep on burning. I say rolling, woo, rolling, woo, rolling on the river. I say rolling, I say rolling, I say rolling on the river.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and I will see you shortly.
You're welcome, and must I say congratulations on the amount of subscribers you've gotten. I know you hit a milestone recently, and I was like, congratulations, because that's great. You work really hard, and the people that support you are really special.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for supporting.
All right. Yes, thank you all. Bye, Brent. My one and only child right there. And he's a natural born performer. He loves being in front of a camera. I want to say hello to my new friend. I don't recognize the name, good looking honky. I'm going to have to write your name down. I don't have a pen with me. So, but I will remember. I'll come back to the chat and I'll get it if I can't remember it. So thank you for coming. Glad you guys are enjoying it. This is a whole new time slot for me. Just talking about seasonal changes, and that includes physical seasonal changes and some of the things that change. RV Ashes in April. Hello to you, Margie. Glad you stopped by. That includes things that are changing for people internally. I love this time of year. I love warm apple cider. It doesn't seem right to drink that in the summer. It just does not. That goes over ice in the summer. And I love pumpkin pie. So I was talking about things I wanted to do. If I I didn't get to do a garden this year because Richard was in no way capable of doing that. And I need his help. So anyways, I love this time of year. I can't wait until it's like 40 degrees every single day. Does your friend play? So he plays the guitar and he plays the upright bass. I'm sure he can play the piano. I think anybody doing what he does knows how to play piano, but his deal is a guitar. As a matter of fact, Backroads, do you know if I played a piece of one of his, he's on YouTube. His name is Michael Milosevic. And if I could, do you know if I played one of his pieces that I know I have, is that legal for me to do on my live stream? Can I play someone else's music? Because I'm not sure of the legality of that. I know you can play like 10 seconds of somebody, but on my phone, I'm gonna go try to get his link. If I can, unless, do I have a moderator in here right now? But you probably would have a hard time spelling his name. His name is Michael Milosevic. He's well worth listening to. I'm going to find him right here. Michael Milosevic. My phone knew exactly. All right, so I'm going to grab his link and put it. Oh, I need to share it. Bring up my live chat and then drop it in. He's a wonderful musician. He's a little younger than I am. And I just dropped his link in my phone, in my chat. So, because is he under contract to a record label or is he independent? He's not under contract. Okay. I think if I can do it, just because we're kind of open, in our conversation here today, I'm just going to play a little piece of what he does. Joy Bless Life is on right now. Okay. Michael Milosevic, M-I-C-H. There he is. All right. I want to. All right. So I'm going to share a video. Let's see, is it screen? Chrome tab. Yes, that's how I do it. I'm going to share a moment, a couple, maybe 30 seconds of his song, just so you can get a feel for him. He's well worth watching. He has several things he's done. So that is just a look at him. I highly encourage, if you want to listen to some nice music. He plays just on his own. He's doing this for the fun of it. I don't think he's trying to build a major YouTube channel. It's therapeutic for him and he enjoys it. Played in rock bands and found his way to the orchestra because he wanted to better himself. So he's that kind of person. Anyways, he's what who told me, he did not like my layering. He said, you can't just layer one thing on top of the other when it's music. And I looked at what he uses to synthesize or do his music, and it's just a lot of stuff. All right, let's see here. My last vid, I used snippets of an old 60s song, and they flagged me for copyright before the video completely uploaded. Jiminy Cricket. So I got flagged on one from the very beginning. So there's a song that I use in my intro that is old, and I can't think of the name of it, but I got flagged for copyright, and it was I use WeVideo. WeVideo is my editor, and I also am using it's music channel. Anyways, so on WeVideo, everything is supposed to be copyright free. So I get a flag and I run it down, figure out what it is. Well, as it turns out, there is a modern group that has one of their songs named the very same thing. So I wrote them a little letter and I said, here's the deal. If you listen to the music, you will see that modern song and this have nothing to do with each other except the name. And it's not right to flag me, to make me take that down. And I got cleared. It cleared it up. But yeah, it took me a while to figure out, oh my gosh, they're not talking about my song that I'm using. They believe it's a different song. So that was pain. You canceled your monetization already? I don't care. I canceled my monetization months ago. I have actually thought about not being monetized. It's never going to make me a ton of money. That's okay with me. That's not why I did the channel. I just straight up, I enjoy the communication. I think it's one of the reasons it's not that I don't like making videos. I just like to get on here and chat with you guys. It's not about getting on here and finding a way to make a bunch of money. I'm not saying it doesn't help and that it's not nice, because it is. And I appreciate everybody who's ever given us a dime, and super chats and whatnot. And then also with PayPal. So, and I did do channel membership, partly because that was kind of just the natural move, is that people just get on here, you get a channel going, you get to the monetization level, and then you do a channel membership. Well, I was not physically capable of following through on the things that I had promised. I'm recovering, and I forget, I may look okay, but I am still recovering. For a long time I'll be recovering. Hello, thank you so much. Just got done with, so that's who was live. So are you live every Monday at 3:00, Sue? Because I'm trying to figure that kind of thing out. Who's live? And I don't know why I did not get a notification that popped up that you were live. What time is it? I guess 4:09. So I went on at 3. You must go on at 3:00 too. If you're still trying to make dollars from your vids, you have to watch every video you have on your channel. They can be monitored one day and be demonetized the next. YouTube is a fickle, yes. I have learned that, Backroads, that she is very fickle. So that's something I'm trying to figure out. Who is live at 3:00 Pacific time? So are you on every Monday at 3:00? Because I'm willing to go to 2:00. I am, especially because, yes, we're live every Monday at 6. Okay, so I have to make a note of this because I haven't seen, do you know of anybody else? I don't have a pen with me, darn it. I'll just have to come back and look at this. So 2:00 works for me as well. I'm willing to do 2:00 or 3:00 Pacific time, which is 6 yours, or 5. That's not an issue. I can do either or. I could even go to 4 o'clock. But I'm thinking if I go to 4, I have seen a lot more people go live. I'm bringing her back up here. I'm just going to look at trying to see how I can find out the quickest way who's live right now. Because I don't want to be doing battle with people that I love, and that I know that a lot of people go to their channel, because if there's 3 people that are doing similar stuff, I am just willing to go to 2 o'clock. So I will say, I do appreciate that you all came by, and it's now it's irrelevant, really. Well, if you're talking about the whole time slot thing, it isn't for me, because I appreciate Sue, for one thing. I very much appreciate Sue, and okay, look at list of subscribers. See, how could I be this ignorant? Some things I should know. It will say live next to their names if they're live. Okay, good point. See, I love my son.
Hi, I just had to crash your stream. Tell you, good job.
He's my baby. Hard to imagine. I just.
Can you imagine? This was in this.
No.
You were, I mean, I can't even believe it.
I can't either.
Like,
he was pretty small kid.
Pregnancy is the most crazy thing.
Yes,
but
it is.
It's like insane.
Yes, it is. It is. He's the love of my life. I love him so much. I don't even have words for it. All right, I will do that Backroads and check out my list of subscribers and see who is live at that time. Next week, I will try 2 o'clock, so I'll bump it back an hour and see how that goes. I think I peaked at about 11 or 12 people, and that's pretty small for me. I'm not a member of anyone's channel. There are too many that I know who have memberships. I am not willing to spend $30 a month, and I'm not going to pick and choose. I don't blame you. Don't know anyone else who's going live on Mondays before us at 5. Okay. She's on after you. Okay. All right. So 2 o'clock. I'm going to try 2 o'clock next week and see how that goes. And so Margie's point here is excellent point, that you're right. There's only a couple channels that I'm a member of their channel. I'm a member of Roy and Becky. Roy and Becky really, really helped me to get started. They were very much a springboard. They were a sounding board. I've learned to try and up my game by watching Roy do his. Roy and Becky, they deserve getting this little bit of money they get from me every month, a few bucks. Roy works hard on the graphics. He works hard on all of the little cartoon things, and he's come up with some great ideas that I would love to emulate. I just don't want to seem like I'm stealing Roy's show. I don't have I'm telling you, and I'm not putting myself down. I do not have an original thought on anything. I never have. And I think very few people do. We learn from the people behind us, or in front of us. I learn from the people in front of me. That's how I've learned to stay sober for 27 years, by the people in front of me who taught me how to stay sober. I learned how to drive because my dad, my mom almost made me wreck, but because my parents knew how to drive before me, and I learned how to do that. So I depend on the people in front of me who've done whatever it is I'm learning to do, and that's how I see it. I need their help. I would never have known how to go live if it weren't for somebody one day who said, you just got to do this. Just saying, I was going to do memberships, but I don't want to be under the pressure of having to produce content to make sure members get their. Yes. And so that was my thing. I had thought, oh, I would do this and this and this. And then I had a setback in my recovery. There's Czar,
He's my service dog.
he's Brent's service dog, but he's our family dog, and I love him
And my
so
mom
much.
also wants to go over that she is doing really well at using my name, my new name that I legally changed my name to,
You did.
Alex. Because as non-binary, I would like something that's gender neutral. Well, but sometimes she does say, "Call me Brent," and I don't falter for that.
Thank you.
This is a story about a mom who had a son who is now non-binary, and everyone can learn from her because she's learning really well.
Yes.
But she's trying. And yeah, you do call me Brent, but I know you do try.
Well, his name inside of me will always be Brent, and he understands that. But I also understand his situation. His trying to change. He's seasonal change. He has a change for his life. So
it just shows that we can evolve at 60.
yes,
People can continue to learn and evolve and grow. And
yes,
you're a great testament to that.
I try.
And your YouTube channel helps showcase that.
I try. All right, you guys. So 2:00 next week, I'm going to try and have a guest. The guest that I'm working on, she has been traveling a lot, and I will get her where she has some internet and whatnot. So let me make sure I've said everything. Finding happiness is all. Oh, well, thank you for stopping in. Finding happiness is all you do. A son of mine, if you could find me a pin, I really want to write down a few names, although I know I could come back to the live stream afterwards and look at them. Finding happiness, all you do. I believe we're new friends. Thank you. I think we're new friends, and that's okay. I love new friends. I had another set of new friends earlier. Finding happiness is all you do. I'm writing your name down. Happiness. All right. So be there or be square, as Catherine says. Let's see. Now that I've been given permission to get back in my Patreon, you really, some point in time, I'd like to have, excuse me, I'm gonna itch. I'd love to have you on if you wanted to talk about all that you've been through with your YouTube road, because you have really, I don't know anybody else who's been through what you've been through with these platforms. Catherine, be there or be square. Yes, ma'am. 2:00 next Monday. I've been with you a bit. My name is Inka. Well, hello, Inka. Thank you. I hope, did I pronounce that right? Inka. Thank you for coming, and I appreciate you being a friend. There are people I watch that I don't get on the chat itself, but I do watch them. I believe that when someone is going to support you dollars, you owe it to them. Yes, exactly. And Box Van D had the, she had decided at that time, right before I left having YouTube memberships, she had quit YouTube memberships because it was, it was stressing her out. Although she just recently decided to come and to do it again, but a little differently. And that will be up front with her people that decide to become her channel members. So anyways, yeah, next time I do it, I will be weller, if that is a proper word. And I don't think it is, but it is for me. I will be physically more able to do the things I tell you that I can do. And I will know what I can do and what I can't do. And either you want to pay for it or you won't. And that's great because this stuff will never end. Regular content will never end. It'll just be some extra stuff. Finding happiness. Productions on radio, likewise, been super busy. So I hope I gave some information today. We may go live going to the coast on Thursday. It will depend on how Richard is doing, if he's feeling like it, and also just with the weather, because it really can affect. It's a 60-mile drive over to Florence from my house, literally almost from doorstep to doorstep, and 4 o'clock is my appointment there, so it'll be prior to that. Anyways, thank you guys for showing up today. Those that did, I appreciate you so much. This is going to be a new learning challenge, a learning curve going on earlier, going on later. And I'm going to do a video letting everybody know that this change has been made, so that maybe more people will be able to participate next week. So anyways, thank you so much for coming. You guys have a great rest of your day. Be safe, be healthy, and know that I absolutely love you guys and I appreciate you.
And let her know if you want her to do a food channel, because I want to see her doing a cooking YouTube channel. So a once weekly show where she does some kind of cooking, I think would be amazing and would be the next non-racist Giada De Laurentiis.
Bye-bye, everybody.